computer. Okay, now lower it a little bit because I don't know, they're not looking at nothing.
They're like right here. One,
Yeah.
or something. Well, but there. There's good.
All right. Okay, so who wants to go for Terry? Do you have anything else to add?
Um, no, I mean, as far as the receipts are concerned, we still have the same daycares that are late. Child's Developmental, well, 1, 2, Fantasy, Aggie's now added to the list. Grammys was a bit behind, but because she had her personal problem. Who else? Little Giants.
So are you gonna give a break to like Los Niños that she begged them to? There was others that submitted late.
Yeah, Garabatos. No, Golden Child was another one.
Uh-huh. Grammys, are we gonna give her a break?
Yeah, Grammys, yes. And I'm not sure yet about Hollywood didn't turn in the paperwork late, but she turned her claim in late. But she did ask me for an extension on the paperwork. Even though she turned it in late, I think I'm going to give her a break for the claim. But Golden Child, the only reason I hesitate on them is because this has happened before and Libby let me have it and we didn't allow them to allow it to go through. And if I allow it to go through now, she's going to say, you did it once, why can't you do it again? So they were late in paperwork as well as claims. So I don't think they're going through.
Yeah, I would agree with Terry because it has happened before. It happened with Alchemy. She tried to do them a favor because they turned it in.
Did anybody work with Discovery Play School?
You can't hear me.
Chita was gonna finish her sentence and then we'll move on to Discovery.
Hello?
Can you hear us, Elena?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on my phone and
Am I delayed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll wait a bit. Okay, go ahead.
Me, go ahead. Okay. Yeah, it happened to us with Alchemy already, where Terry, they turned in their claim like at 12:01 and a half, 12:00 half. And so you're the only one that laughs at my jokes, Ana. Said, thank you. And so she tried to do him a favor and she told me, she says, I'm gonna let him go through because they were only half a second late. Fast forward to the following month, they're like 2 hours late. And what's her name called her and let her have it and said, you allowed it last time, why can't you allow it now? So we're not allowing it at all, even if they're 12.01 half late. Okay. Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay, Elena, go ahead.
I think we lost her. Yeah, we lost her. But she said about Discovery Play School. Discovery Play School, I think she's yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Does not meet the 25%. I already removed like 4 children from the paid category and she's still not qualifying. I don't know what to do. I know that she said that it was okay, but I really wanted her to qualify, right? So maybe we remove 1 more child. In my eyes, what I'm seeing, she qualifies.
Yeah, because I did what you said, like the total divided by
25.2.
and it does come out, she does have the.
He needs 4.
And
She needs 3.75 and she has 4.
I don't know.
So I don't know. I don't know if what we're looking at, this is a January claim. We may be looking at
Maybe it's popping up
for February for them. That's what I'm thinking. But if she knows and she's okay with
She
it,
did tell me that she was okay with not, she wants to stay in the program.
do you want to try removing a couple more paid children and see if that will work? Please.
Are you talking about Discovery?
Yes. We lost you for a minute, Elena.
I know. I know.
Yeah, she said that she was okay with it because she knows that she doesn't qualify, but we want her to
Uh-huh.
qualify.
It has to be 20. More than 20.
But that's
Yeah.
Oh, not for
February.
January. Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
so
what's going on
working.
with Kid Campus?
The same thing that's always been going on. She's always behind. She turns her paperwork in, like it's due that day and she turns it in 1 hour before it's due.
And we're talking 59 days later.
Yeah, she always waits for the 60 days. So we're scrambling to try to get it in and then so she's just late all the time.
Well, I want permission from you guys to put her on a 3-day block next month and warn her. She gets very behind. She won't answer my calls. She's always with a parent or not in. Her staff hangs up on me. And I won't allow that. So
Put her on the block
she gets,
indefinitely, Elena. Indefinitely. Don't take her off.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell her effective,
March
March 1st, you're gonna be on a 3-day block. You won't be able to go back. And she's never there. She never answers. They hang up on me. It's just impossible to get a hold of anybody there.
That's what I was going to talk about. You reminded me, but I'll talk about it at the end.
What?
Don't forget.
Go ahead, Elena. I mean, it's gonna take a while.
Oh, am I giving my report? I guess
No,
so,
I
¿verdad?
was
Soy
just
la que
gonna,
más habla.
No.
you had asked about some of the ones that we were gonna hold back.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's the end of
Okay.
my report. You can go on. You're next.
Well, I can finish up. It was that I wanted to talk about. Put Kids Campus on a 3-day block, and I think uh, Apple Tree is under a new director, Paul Perez, and the one in charge is gonna be Miriam.
Paul Perez, you said?
Yeah, I think it's just the name because Miriam is really gonna be in charge of everything. Flowers in the Garden is closed, not forever. Flowers in the Garden 2.
It's number
I
2. And if I can
number
interrupt
2.
there, yeah, if I can interrupt you there for a minute, because I did forget about
Sure.
that. And tell you my brain's not working today. She did send me an email saying that hopefully by the 24th, she will have her new location because she's moving. Remember, we talked to her during the audit and something happened in her old location. And so she had to move, right? And so now she's gonna be at her new location, hopefully by next week. We do have to go out there, the monitor has to go out there within 30 days. Because even though the license didn't change, the location changed.
Will you let me know if she does go? And that way I can give it.
I told her, I CC'd you in the response to her,
Okay, I'll do it.
and I asked her for her new license as soon as she had it, okay? So that we can go out there and monitor her. So yeah, that's gonna be her. Right now, she's closed until hopefully March.
Okay. And the Little Giants is just still. I thought Angie was working with them. They're still not doing their stuff. I mean, their claim 1 month was $159. That's
Oh, you did not?
ridiculous.
No.
They're
I
on
don't
a
think
3-day
Angie-
block.
Elena, I don't think Angie is working with them. And what it is with her is she doesn't turn in the enrollment forms complete. Even though she's been asked several times to get them in, she doesn't do it. So that's why she can't claim because she's at the 25, she's not at the 25%.
Okay, and she doesn't even do attendance. So. Okay, that's it for me.
Can I pick it back?
Thank
off of
you.
In
Thank you.
reference to,
Little Giants?
yes. She did tell Betha she was gonna come last Monday. She never showed up. And
With
again,
you all?
Yeah.
Talk about the
Well,
room?
she didn't want her to come personally,
well, because
I
I
know,
didn't really think she was gonna come in anyways.
but I really wanted her to come in so I could kind of like go through an enrollment with her and see if I could get her to be a little neater.
It's because she does get some stuff, but then she messes up on something else, if that makes sense. Like, we finally got her to print a correct enrollment, but then her information is off. So it doesn't. you
She
know,
could send us 20 and maybe we could. Two,
So she was the one that was using an alternate form, ¿verdad?
Yes, and that, like I said, we finally got her to use the correct one, but when she sends information, it's still correct.
dates are off, I mean, really off.
Wasn't she the one that you had asked somebody?
To go, I had asked Joanne to go,
And I
because
went.
she didn't have time.
When I go check her, I'll send her, I sat down with her for 3 hours. To give her technical support.
But she did cancel on you one time.
No, she
Terry
canceled with
said-
me when,
no?
when she set
Yeah.
up the appointment. But when I won't check lunch with her, I sit down with her after my inspection. And I explain to her a lot of stuff. And I go.
Does she
through
pay
technical plan.
attention to you or is she doing other things?
No, she
or
was
what
sitting
is-
down, next to me. She pretended that she paying attention, pero pues no sé, la verdad. Porque it was a mess, it was a mess. A lot of strong.
Well, they
No,
were
no,
they
no,
were
I tell you,
audited and they
yeah.
were a mess.
See, it's no food, it's dirty, no food, no milk, no milk production, no milk count, it's a mess. Yeah, and I'm a reporter of that. And I said, I went home with their girl.
It's dirty.
Yeah,
They actually see they're dirty. I mean, have we ever filed a complaint to licensing or? That,
Susana,
they don't do
yeah.
whenever we filed a complaint where it was really, really bad was a kid.
Kids. Mhm.
And that's when Luis from licensing told me that he was not gonna be doing my job. So I said, well, as long as you, for the record, I'm reporting it to you, so it's out of my hands, okay? I said, and you're not doing my job. Okay, you should be doing yours, but I'm not gonna tell you how to do yours. But we tried to report it where it was not just dirty, but it was unsafe for the children. And did he go out there? I don't know if he did or not. I don't know.
But yeah, but for the record, we need to have at least the report being made on our end in case something happens.
So I
Which
told him,
one's
for
out?
the record, I'm reporting it to you.
Yes.
Cause that's what I'm supposed to do. So is it unsafe over here at Little Giants or is it just dirty?
Well, bueno, para mí sí estaba un poquito porque yo no creo que la leche que estaba ahí estaba a temperatura ambiente, o sea, había cosas que no, pues es que haz de cuenta que es como, ¿qué te diré? Como es aquí, ahí está un refrigerador, o sea, está sucio, los niños pueden entrar, tenía las cosas de limpieza junto con lo de la comida, o sea,
Okay,
pues,
right there, you need to tell her to move them away.
I told her to
Yeah.
clean, to move, le dije todo eso y le
In front of you
que-
though, to move those products at
Yeah,
least.
I told her that.
And then you
pero-
do a follow-up right there. Then if it happens again, then we'll report it.
Es que I didn't, no me acuerdo si no hice un follow-up porque me lo movieron. Pero no, I'm not sure. Let me check my notes and I'll let you know exactly what happened that day.
And the milk, if it's out of the refrigerator for more than 2 hours,
It
then you.
was such a refrigerator, pero, ¿cómo te puedo decir? O sea, hace cuenta como se les cayó miel y ahí estaba como pegado el galón entre la miel.
Ah,
y
pues
todo
no lo
eso.
podía quitar.
No, pues estaba pegado.
Estaba
Comprende, de veras. It was a little worse than tapas, but you can understand.
Oh my
wow.
God.
Yes,
no,
it was.
I don't believe- Okay, well, that's pretty bad then.
Mhm.
Okay, then we need to report it to Liza. Can you go out there again and
Yeah.
let me know?
Absolutely.
Right. ¿Qué más, Araceli?
And then, cause she brought up Libby, I did speak to her after, well, after we talked. And she did send some, but she still has not. And I spoke to Stephanie, she still has not sent any corrections, so they are aware that, they're gonna be missing money when they do their claim because it's enrollments. But she doesn't wanna send. She only sent me a few of them, so I don't know what else to do. As far as that's concerned.
I mean, there's not much else that we can do, right? What else can we do?
I'm sorry, and I told her too about to don't serve juice every day for a snack, and she still have the as the same. Monday
You know
she'll
what
have
happens
juice.
with juice, Joanne, and anybody else? When they serve juice, it only counts as half of a portion. So they're required to serve, let's say, half a cup of fruit for snack. I don't remember the amounts, but let's just say half a cup. That means that they serve juice, that's only 1/4 of a cup. They still need to supplement it with another 1/4 of a cup of something else. Otherwise, the meal is not complete. It's disallowed.
Okay,
Okay. So you disallow it because it's not complete.
all right. Yeah, because she serves juice 3 times out of the week.
But with what?
Goldfish and juice, goldfish and juice, and pretzels and juice.
But not
They're
another
disallowed.
But not another fruit or
Disallowed.
vegetable. So disallow it and let them know that you're disallowing because of that reason and not to serve juice. Period.
Okay,
We allow it, well,
Only
once a week,
yeah, once a week, because
but
I
don't
already
serve
told her
it
that the
because it
last
gets
time.
complicated. It gets complicated.
Mhm.
If it's only 1/4 of a cup of fruit, then they're gonna have to divide it into 1/8 and 1/8 and pues
Yeah.
send Becky out there to do the math.
Pues,
No.
es que yo, bueno, honestamente yo pienso que ella tiene que tener así como un corrective action o algo para que a lo mejor entienda.
Are we still talking about Golden Chance?
No, I'm talking about Little Giants.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Little
Well, there,
Giants.
mientras que no manden reclamo, we won't do anything.
Okay,
Uh,
all right.
And then I guess I'll just wrap it up really, because another one that's kind of is all about me. Like she'll call me and ask me, like I sent, but she has a lot of scratch outs. It's not legible. Siblings, like let's say it's 1,000 here, but over here you can't tell if it's 1,000 or chicken scratched. And
What we had talked about with Susana, and I don't know if Angelica, but and I think I talked to you all about that, and Nora is gonna hear about it in this training, in this meeting.
She's not.
No, but we're recording it. Yeah, I hope we are.
I guess that was my next.
Yeah. Susana, please correct me. Terry, please correct me if I'm wrong. If they submit an incomplete enrollment and income eligibility form, we're not gonna sit there and beg them.
Okay.
And send them 18 emails every other day and beg them and beg them and beg them. If they don't care, ni modo.
So are we gonna limit, I don't mean to interrupt, are we gonna limit it to just that one time, and then after that, if they don't return it correctly, we're gonna leave it as paid? Or we're just,
Are we even gonna allow them one or are we just
No,
gonna?
you know, you're gonna get back to them like you would normally do and say, this is not complete or
Okay.
it's incorrect or whatever it is that it is. We're gonna put it in paid. If they turn around and give you the corrected form, then you go ahead and make the correction and submit it. But we don't want you to be, this is too much work to be tracking it constantly and getting back to them in a week or in a month or in 6 months or in 9 months, and we still don't get it.
Mhm.
We don't get it within the year, that client stays as paid. Yeah.
Okay, so just to go back and clarify. So the enrollment form is missing something. So we're gonna send them an email or call them and give them a time limit. You know, by tomorrow at 5 p.m., not like, 3 weeks from now. That way you all can still track it. Well, especially you because you're still doing just errors. Well, I guess you, anyway, whoever. Right? If it's like today in the morning, then by tomorrow at 5 p.m. And if by tomorrow at 5 p.m. they don't send you anything and you have a complete enrollment form signed and dated,
okay,
then you can put under paid.
Complete enrollment form has to be on file, right? I mean, that's common sense.
If you don't
Yeah.
have a complete enrollment form, then you're not gonna validate that child and that's it. You already. That part, I don't know, I didn't think that far. What do we do with those people that don't have a complete enrollment form and we cannot validate it under paid? So we still gonna have a stack of,
Well, those are the errors that Berta starts accumulating.
but see, how long are we going to hold on to that? That's something that we still need to talk about.
But as long as they're not validated, I mean, it shouldn't.
But you're gonna have to keep track of them, you, Berta, Sanchez.
I know, but if they're not validated in a timely manner, I mean, whenever they decide to send, let's say they send something incomplete and I reach out, I don't get it back, it doesn't get validated 2 months from now. if they wanna send me a complete and correct enrollment, that would be with the current signature date, right? Would that?
Would
is
we
that-
still accept it though? Even after 3-4 months?
Well.
That's my question too, because then it's still gonna give you all of this work. Cause you're still gonna have to save it. And then when they send you the correction, you have to dig it out. And then you're gonna have to validate it. So how long do we hold on to that? It could be 8 months from now.
And I think another thing, like it's gonna go for 6 months paid and then. the next 6
No.
months-
This one wouldn't
Because
be
you
any.
know
We're talking
that
about-
it won't go in wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you validate it as paid in February
Mhm.
and then in March, they send you the corrected one, they're gonna have to wait until
The
the
following
following
year.
year.
That's for a
'Cause we don't-
complete.
If we have a complete enrollment
It's
form,
not-
then you will validate it under paid.
Mhm.
And then next month or 2 months from now, they send you the EDG letter or whatever you needed. It's gonna have to stay
Until
under
the following.
Paid.
until the
Okay.
following year
We
because
enroll.
we can't.
Mm.
Right? How in the world are we gonna
It's hard
track
to
all of
keep
that?
We're trying to simplify things, and that was one of the auditor's questions was, you know, if you put it, I mean, because one of the things we were looking at was that it wasn't,
We didn't pay them at all.
it wasn't validated, period, because
Yeah.
we didn't have a complete. And he said, you know, well, you could put it under paid, yeah, we could. The only thing with paid is that then we're tracking until we get it corrected, so we decided there. We'll put it under paid and it stays under paid for a year. But the one thing that I was thinking of is that if that daycare voluntarily turns around and gives you the information within, you know, a reasonable time.
But let me tell you how the daycares do that. Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, because I know I'm right. They send you, the wrong information, right? So you validate it under paid. And then in 3 months, they're gonna send you the corrected one, but they're not gonna tell you it's corrected. So you're gonna receive it and you're gonna think it's a new child. You're gonna go in there. And until you do all of the work, you may or may not know that that's a correction. Right?
In that case, yes.
But you're gonna do it anyway. Cause you're not gonna know. You're gonna do
That's
that
very true.
anyway.
That's very true. So you're gonna do it anyway.
And once you do that, then you're gonna see that, oh, this is the corrected form, and now that child goes from paid to free.
That was what about.
And is
today.
that, are we
But
gonna do
it's not
that?
because
I
we've
know.
been hounding
So
them
we go
for it.
back,
It's
okay.
because they
Finally.
finally followed through themselves. Not because we're calling and asking and asking and
Okay,
asking. and
but
like
in
we're
that
doing right now.
case, if they're only missing if they're missing a signature. No, if they're missing a signature in the income eligibility form. And then you validated them under paid because we have the enrollment form. And then they send you the income eligibility form, just the signature. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Well, we
You
won't-
guys follow me?
We're
or
not,
no?
we're not going to validate it if it doesn't have a signature, do we?
Well, if the enrollment form has a signature, yes. But if the income eligibility doesn't have a signature, yes. As long as the enrollment form has a signature.
It'll be as paid.
Okay.
But my question is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
How are we gonna track when they were underpaid and now they sent it in 3 months later and now they're under reduced? So in between those months, they were paid and now they're reduced, and that was one of the questions of the auditors. Why is it different? So
But
how,
that's when the signature date comes into
Yes,
play.
but when we, but when we file, since it's an update,
We remove,
so we don't have the.
you don't
paper trail.
keep the other
So
one?
we don't
you
have
have
it
to keep
anymore,
it.
and then we can't explain it to
I
the
think you have
auditor.
to keep it.
But also,
So when, let me
no, go ahead.
So when you're validating and you know on the reasons. And you put a comment, you know how it says reason for paid free or reduced and it says, oh,
Yeah.
because they're EDG or
income or
whatever,
energy.
right?
Yes.
Maybe put a note there, and I think you're gonna have to keep it.
I
Put a
would
note
say
there,
keep it.
enrollment complete, eligibility incomplete.
What I normally do is like if it's
And keep.
in between, Like if it's, they added a family member or they check up on, I'll just write myself a little note and pencil at the bottom. Because sometimes maybe that one extra person is gonna they're gonna go from, reduced to 3. Or, or vice versa, but I'll write myself a little note, like I added a family member or income was updated, like.
But this is what I was gonna say right now.
It gets complicated.
It does, because if it doesn't have to do with the date, let's say it has to do with the income, okay? The date is 2/18/25 across the board. You're gonna validate it with that date under the paid category. Next month, they send you the correct income. It's still gonna have 2/20, the date still gonna be 2/18/25. So when you go into Center Pilot, you're not gonna change the date, you're not gonna change anything except the income. How are you gonna know when the income changed? Because the form is still gonna say the same.
Up here, but the date that the parents sign is gonna be different than the first one. It should be different.
It should be, but it's not always, because what they do is they just send you the updated and they keep the same signature date. Therefore, the reason why I have to explain to Patrick a couple of times why. The signature date stays the same. And all they do is correct the income and send you the same thing.
That's good. Excuse me, so how many do we have that come in that we have to put in paid? I mean, because if we said, okay, this is the rule and this is gonna be it, because it's gonna be easy. Comes in as paid, it stays paid for a year and then yes, again. But if it's gonna be 50% of kids enrolled, then that's gonna screw us.
It's a lot of kids, no?
That's what I'm sorry, that's what I'm gonna say, if they just go that way, I think a lot of daycares, they're not gonna qualify for the 20%,
That
the 25,
And we're
because
gonna get,
it's gonna be a lot of daycares and, of course, they have a lot of work over there. So if they just send it to pay, on my opinion, a lot of daycares are gonna go,
But
they're not gonna be qualified for that.
could be right, but that's only which the centers I have, but they don't have a big enrollment. Does that make sense? Because like, for example, Little Scholars, yes, Little Scholars. They're, you know what I mean? They don't miss anything, Little Talents, everything's correct.
Even little pandas, no?
All the
No.
little.
Well, Angie's talking.
Little Pandas, she has a lot of role of military guys. So that's why a lot of her kids, they don't qualify. Well, that's what I understand.
But I guess what I'm saying is that they do turn in their paperwork
And correct.
correctly. And they're
Yeah,
very,
that's
and
it.
they're,
So
if we request, they return. I mean, we don't.
but I think what I'm trying to answer her is, Joanne is in, I think it would affect a little. The
The
centers that
smaller
have-
daycares like Yellow Ribbon,
Yeah, versus
Discovery
someone,
Place.
yeah, versus someone.
who has a lot more. Well, why don't we try it and see how it works,
I
right?
need to write it down.
well, I need to change the management.
Right, right.
We need policy, we need it written down.
Yeah, I never change it, you
Everybody
even
has
ask me to.
Right, and that's what I tell everybody, Susana always has to
down.
go write it, put it in writing, everything has to be put in writing. Mm-hmm.
So final
Better
answer,
make sense.
So I think maybe, well, should you all meet, Susana, to just be able to write it down, look at the different scenarios and then.
Yeah. To understand.
No final answer.
No final answer then?
what was the final answer?
Continue doing it, how you're doing it until
For
we
now.
can get together with Susana,
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
right?
Yeah, I have a question. Well, yesterday, me and Laura, we went to Little Kings and Queens for a follow-up, okay? She has only 4 kids, no, I mean, actually 4. One of the little girls walking. So I put on my notes, she has 5 kids. I asked the ages and she said it's only 2 years old, okay? So when we doing her receipts and her all the information, now we have to ask. Me and Laura, we were sitting down, y ella solita fue y dijo, le dije, how many kids well, you have 5 kids, ¿verdad? Le dije, 2 years old. She's like, yeah, pero uno de ellos is not enrolled yet. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna count 4 because one of them is not enrolled. So for me, I cannot count it because it's not on the program yet. ¿Estoy bien o estoy mal?
Because how often do you have to enroll that child? Say if the child started on the 2nd, whatever. And the parent hasn't brought back the form, whatever.
Well, in my eyes, and I don't know, but that child's not enrolled, not in the food program, so why are we gonna count him, right?
Yeah.
Right, right?
Well, he
Don't
can
we
put in the
reward the
attendance,
ones
doesn't
behind?
he? Even though.
But see, that's what
without
I'm
No,
that-
you can't because he's not enrolled. He would be
No, 'cause-
enrolled.
Oh, because then you won't
Okay.
even be on Center
He's not
Pike.
No,
enrolled.
it's not.
Can't take
I'm
attendance.
not
enrolled in the.
Okay.
And I talked to Becky about it and I said, well, I understand when it's a big center and she has managers and assistant directors, and I know maybe someone else is on charge of that, you know, because she has 100 and something kids and se metieron 15
But little
kids, so it's
queens,
hard.
They don't.
But she only has 4 kids.
Okay, but
So,
let's just say, for
for me, it's
example,
like-
let's just say she's not gonna claim that child in the food program for whatever reason. Maybe they're gonna bring his food, maybe he's only gonna be there one day, she doesn't think it's worth it, so we really can't jump to those conclusions. My opinion. I mean, and if she enrolls him later on down the line, well, she did. Um, She
But then
lost
you gotta
money.
remind her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
pero,
has to enroll them,
yeah, por eso te digo,
whether she claims or not.
ese día, o sea, la niña había entrado el lunes o martes, no sé, entró la semana, pero ella no tuvo el tiempo de enrolarla, porque nos dio como 4 nombres que entraron nuevos. And I understand que a veces no hay tiempo, ¿va? Pero, pues si no están en el programa, she's not even going to take it as attendance because they're not
Well,
enrolled
she
in the
can't-
program.
she
So
can't take it.
I just say, well, I'm just going to count you 4 because
And she didn't, she wanted you to count 5?
no,
No,
te
but
digo,
she
yo ni
was-
sabía
because she thought-
que era, no.
Oh,
But she told me. But the thing is, when she put them on the program, okay, if she can go back for the 18th, example, she put them on the program on Friday, tomorrow, okay? If she can go back my day that I want.
How far back?
no, because,
No.
because number one, they have to take attendance that
Right
day.
in there.
Number two, even if the parent signs tomorrow, they have to put tomorrow's date, not last week's date.
And I
right?
think that that's where you can go back and make sure that she's not claiming for that child, and if you made a note on your monitoring form, you know, there was a 5th child, the child was not enrolled, then we only counted 4, just make a note.
Okay.
When you
And
look
so
at,
now-
when you go
Well,
back and see,
actually-
did she claim for 5 or she only claimed for 4?
Actually, I have the report here. If you want, I can write it down on my notes there or like on a special on another.
Where do you
Notes.
want her to write it down?
So if you put on the monitor, 5 children were in attendance, only 4 were enrolled.
Yeah,
There you
okay.
go, so
Sweet
only
and simple.
4 allowed. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
And then if I were you, I would check later because we
Yes.
know that sometimes we go to a monitor, we put everything in at the end of the month,
They're claiming for
they're claiming more
More.
kids.
than what
So
you
then
were
your
allowed.
monitor, that's why I always do I know we can't now, but that's why I do them at the end of the month.
Elena, is there a way that you can put a block for every single daycare?
Forever and ever?
Yeah.
But do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Elena, are you
That's scary, Chita. That's
What-
scary.
Why? Huh?
A block after
Porque
what?
hay veces que se
Yeah.
les pasa o que no grabaron, o sea,
They-
are you
they
serious?
feel-
Putting a
Yeah, I'm
block on
serious.
everybody?
I'm serious. After this audit, everything that comes out of my mouth is serious. Okay, the block will be for 3 days. You are still checking them every other day or whatever, and you're still reminding them. That's plenty of it. If they don't do it, you know, I'd rather disallow now than have an auditor come in and then we get written up for it. It's better just to get rid of it now.
Or what if at the end of the month, since they're gonna have to do their monitors there and then and tournament. Okay, so you're gonna have 10 kids, whatever.
So you're gonna want me to put a 3-day block on everybody?
A ver, hold on, let's discuss it. a little.
Piénsala, Chita, piénsala.
I already-
Hold on.
All right,
Yo voto que no.
No, but then at the end of the month. You can get your monitors and compare, because we're gonna have to do that anyway. You're gonna have to compare the foods, you're gonna have to compare
The attendance, the
attendance
enrollment.
as to what you have. And what comes out later, because it doesn't always match.
Well, but you have to do it right
Y
then and
no
there.
hace, y luego el fin de
Yeah,
semana
but how do
también
you know?
incluye, Chita.
How do you know that at the end, Joanne counted whatever daycare, 5 kids,
Uy, no puedo
and then
hacer
2 days
eso,
later, they
sí,
went back and they
ahora
put 5 more kids? You're not gonna know.
poner un-
if Joanne stays there the complete 2 hours.
Right.
Then that's the final answer.
No, I'm saying at the end of the billing, I'm saying at
Oh,
the
yeah,
end of the
no,
month.
yeah, okay, I see what you're.
You
I
see,
see what
that's
you're
when I
saying. Yeah, you have
think
to
we
go
would need
back
to
and look.
compare both. If it ends up
I
more
don't know
work.
if we're a little bit scared here, Susana and Angelica, or we're
Yeah.
taking it too
If you're
far.
scared.
But after that, you did not see the abuse that I received, Angelica. That's why now everything that comes out of my mouth is the absolute truth. Put the block on everything. Yeah, I'm
They
serious.
changed.
Oh, señorita.
Serious, I'm serious. Put it on
It's
everybody.
happened to me.
Yeah, I know.
Luego platicamos.
The monitor now.
Elena?
Get to typing, girl, get to typing.
Okay.
To keep a copy or don't you?
That's what I'm saying. You're still gonna have to go back in and recheck at the end of the
Yes,
month.
you should go back and check.
And that's
Before
why
the plan.
I
Yes.
personally only
Plan
enter,
is
I know
due.
we can't, but I would enter the monitors at the end of the month, just to make sure that the food's matched, the kids matched. And if they didn't, I was like, hey, but too many, there weren't that many, whatever. And I had time to fix it. Now we don't have time to fix it unless we check it at the end of the month.
Don't we have to go and, like, when we go out there, they have to sign, this is what we're writing down.
Well, yeah, but if you don't check it at the end, how are you gonna know that they didn't
But
Adjust
put a
the
couple
what?
more
Adjust-
kids?
Well, what
They're
you
gonna
have,
give it a claim.
what you have in writing is
Or
the
even before
final,
the
no? Like,
So
you
it's
already-
supposed to be the final,
Well,
but they'll still go in there and make changes unless they're.
Yeah.
That's why it's a change block.
Block them. Second that
Look,
motion.
Laura came and she counted 20.
Oh, block those can you block the
I'm gonna put
previous
in 10
days?
more.
though?
God will show you.
Once you put the blocks in,
How are you gonna know
it's,
that they didn't change?
it's for every
And
3
they're getting
days.
it paid for 10 more.
Yeah, let's say today is, what's today, Wednesday?
Yeah.
So you have until Monday to do your attendance. And if not, then it's
Tita,
gonna,
but if they don't do Friday, then Monday they're too late.
Second that motion.
you know, I don't care, Elena.
Yeah.
Ay, Chita.
I agree, Elena, I agree. with you.
No, Chita,
Help me.
comiste.
We'll discuss it more later, Elena, no te creas. Ponlo.
Así. If you check every attendance for every single center, de perdida, de 10, 9
Could make more money with the daycare owner.
Están mal.
As long as we're okay, I think, when you go and do the monitor, because the monitor has to check out with the meal count, has to check out with the sign in and out, has to check out with the enrollment forms, and that's the way the auditors do it. Enrollment, sign in and out, attendance, meal counts, gotta jive all the way.
Question about that. So what's gonna happen with a sign-in sheet? It's gonna be a requirement for us?
It's
or no?
always been a requirement.
Yeah, because they told me the same story. ProCare and Hi Mama and CCS.
Oh, okay, well, see,
It's on
that's,
paper or?
well, see, that's something else. I talked to licensing directly and they allow the Bright Wheel, the ProCare, the whatever it is, right? As long as they can print it and give it to you or me or whoever is asking, then it's okay. Okay, those that don't have access to that, then it would be written down. That's what I,
As long as there's a sign or not, doesn't matter.
right,
Yeah.
right. Now, they cannot go, like licensing told me that they allowed it. Well, these auditors don't allow it. They need to see, they'd rather see a signature, a name, rather than just initials, okay? And also, they just put mom, they just put dad. No, that's not allowed. They need to put, even if they just put Angelica. Okay, because then it has happened in the time that I have been here, where the child goes missing and they don't know where the child is. And the mom comes in to pick up the child and find out who took the child. I don't know, porque es un garabato ahí.
Well, it's the same thing with ProCare. If you give it that code to Margarita Perez to go pick up your child, it's gonna be the same thing. They're
Well,
gonna put your mom.
And I understand that, but the auditors didn't complain about that, but they did complain about the mom and dad. Okay, and then the initials.
Okay.
And the staff from the daycare. They can sign them out if they picked them up,
Mhm.
right?
We have to pick them up. from
Because
school
some of
or
the
whatever.
daycares aren't allowing the parents to come in.
but we ran that by the auditors and they said it was okay. I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what Patrick said, like if they bring them from school
Did they say it
or
was
whatever,
okay?
yeah, that they
But-
could write them.
If the child, that the mom didn't want the parent walk in and they just dropped the kid at the door and the teacher put the time, the name,
That
the
is
name of
not
the
a-
child, time in and time out, that's it, that they put the time in and time out. So they need to have at least a name of the.
That is not allowed. Yeah, the
Alright.
teacher cannot sign them in and out. The
Alright.
parent, they have to find a way. There's no more COVID. There's no more restrictions, okay?
Okay.
Slide the paper under the door. I don't know. I don't know.
Like Mr. Power, she has the sign-in sheets outside.
Okay, put them
Some of them
outside.
do, Troy's used to, they have used to have a little table out there.
Some classrooms, when my child was a little baby boy,
They don't.
they would have the thing on
Right
the
at the
door
front of the
with a clip, right? And you would walk by and sign them in, and you have to go in the classroom. There's ways of doing it. We have to get it done. Doesn't matter, Elena, take it all. Okay.
She's scary, huh? She's
Well,
scary.
you know what? I was scared too.
Gordita, ya bájale.
No le voy a bajar. You should have seen the auditor.
Comiste gallo, comiste gallo.
No. Susana was there, Terry was there, and Sandra was there.
It was me. Yeah.
She was me.
Not the most pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't yelling at you.
No, she was not yelling at me, but she was
She was
looking at
yelling
me
at
like
me, no,
this,
no.
and she was going like this, and then she said, I'm not trying to single you out. And me, a big mouth, I said, single me out, I'm the coordinator, it's on me. So single me out. Come on, bring it.
Let's go outside.
Oh,
Did say that.
I did say that.
Look,
I
I'm the
did say
coordinator,
that.
Go ahead and single me out.
I said,
You
single
win,
me out,
okay?
I'm the
Go down,
coordinator, and I'm
boxing
the
gloves
one that's
and-
responsible
Maybe off at 5
for all.
o'clock.
Let me start at 5. The back.
No, porque supiera que she's
She's very, very.
intimidating to me.
She-
Anyway,
Yo soy
take
el
them off.
segundo.
Right?
Next, all right. Is
I
it done?
think-
Is you done?
I is done.
So what do we do? I'm sorry, have them check them at the end of the month again?
There you go.
Okay, that makes sense?
Just say,
Paperwork will be checked.
Yeah, you're still gonna turn them into me on Fridays. I will keep them in there. And then at the end of the month. All right.
You can, or they can, or whatever,
I can,
whatever you want.
let me
yeah,
see if I can do it first. If
you
it
can
doesn't-
do it.
Do it.
I can say.
You can
If
do
it
it.
is too much of a. What? No, I'm gonna check your own stuff.
Okay, well, it's gonna accumulate after this. We're waiting for this.
Well, no, no, my part is the attendance and the food. That's your deal.
Just wait until you hear of everything else, that's nothing.
I know, well, just, well,
That's
I think I
nothing,
really ask you, we wanna have, training for the, well, we're gonna review this for race level before, just want you to know.
But just real quick, did I do okay on the wrist?
Yes, you did, you did
Okay.
perfectly,
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
yes, thank you,
You're welcome.
thank you for doing that, Berta. It's okay, do you wanna go next?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Everything to say.
Everything, yeah, everything that I have to, everything's, I think we're on time. I think I'm on time.
We'll find out, they had said that by the end of this week, they would give us the final on the enrollment forms, right?
On the program. On the program end of it, I think we're supposed to know by Friday, the financial and anything having to do with the money fiscal and it won't be.
I mean, I'm still moving to corrections. I don't think I've fallen behind further than. I mean, those
You do
daycares,
what you can.
the daycares that are gonna help out are helping out, and we know which ones, I mean, we just talked about all the ones that don't. I try, I really do. I mentioned this earlier, prior, and I do send an email, explain the correction I need, and then follow up with a phone call, try to, help them out if I can, and
Like she said.
We know.
Good cop, bad cop.
good cop, bad cop, if they
Good
wanna,
cop, bad cop.
if they wanna come in, I'll sit with them, I don't, as long as I can get my
I'm
correction, but.
like, good cop, bad cop.
Like, I'll be on the phone with the center, and then, no, sí, vengan, and, no, there's
Somebody the chicken, the chicken.
Yes,
no.
yes.
Can we get
A badge. When they come, I'm like.
Es que we gotta balance each other out, okay? We can't all be.
That one's for the. Drop it.
So July has a lot of stuff and then like,
Yeah,
I think,
but
yeah, blah, blah, yeah.
you have to wait.
Laura looks like she was.
Some bad you get. Just tell me what daycares and I'll go do their moments for it.
I'm scared now.
If I monitor, I'll just go to
Yeah.
the Point Center. I'll be 50 yeah.
I love it. Can you do their general ledgers too?
She might.
Okay,
But yeah, but overall, I think they're way better than from, from when we started.
Absolutely.
I think so
Yes,
too.
I think so.
Yeah.
My stacks are the same. I won't say they're less. But keep in mind, we do, it's a month to month thing,
Yeah.
so I just think I do a kick-ass job.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Ed.
you know that.
I'm saying.
I think you're going to pitch for American. Yeah.
No. But the centers I feel that the centers are cooperating.
Good, I'm glad to
Oh,
hear that.
and I remember when I walked in on allá basement and she was hasta arriba de los papeles and the next 2 days I go, ya los llevaba aquí, she's like, mira, ya la vencí un chorro. And I'm like, yeah, so she's doing.
And we're very happy to have you because we know that you like doing
I
that.
love.
Uh-huh.
I get
We told the
frustrated.
auditors that.
I do get frustrated and
Yes.
kind of, sometimes I kind of cry down there and me regaña, ¿verdad? Pero,
You know what? We cry up here, don't we,
It's
Terry?
okay, I don't want.
bueno, es que sí get frustrated, like with Little Giants, I am so
You see this
frustrated.
little, scratchy scratch right here?
Once I start going with one of the centers, but I get frustrated.
Exactly, I was like,
Because I call and they'll say yes and they understand, but then they really don't understand. Or they just, nomás me dicen que sí, está bien.
Why, they don't realize it's money that they're losing every time. I'm like.
You know what I think it is, and I think I finally got to the bottom of it, and I want to share that information when we finish with all of this, is that they honestly believe that they're paying us to do that job. Okay, I'm paying you, and that's what I want to show you guys. Okay, if they were paying us, she'd be making $100 a month. You'd probably be making 75. You'd be making, it's ridiculous, and they think it's your responsibility.
So why don't they realize there's certain things we can't do? I can't get a signature from a parent.
Well,
I can't get that. It's your job.
But you can pass it through,
And go to their house and knock on the
or
door.
you can pass it through. Yeah.
Stupid.
because, I called one of the centers today. Which one was it? All
Little
about me,
Giants.
all about me,
Oh.
Sylvia, all about me, and I asked her, because I just asked her, like on the email was just, whatever corrections I needed. But I called her because the last page are not filled out. They're signed and dated, but I need her to put in like the amount and the frequency. And then she says, well, it's because that's why I used to send them like that before and they would fill them out for me. I said,
We're still stuck on that.
yeah, so I said, well, no, we can't do that no more. So if you could kind of,
That's sort of me back up.
no, I
The new
just, no,
shop
I,
in town.
We're still stuck on that. I mean, a year later.
yeah,
we're
we are, but I think we're way too.
Okay.
And I think eventually the centers are gonna.
Thank you, Verda. I'm glad that you say that.
I wish there was if there's not a way that we can like tally up, say how much All About Me or whatever lost on.
They
The
can see
meals.
it in the disallowance.
No, but I'm talking money wise.
It's here.
They can see it. I've never looked really at the disallowance letter, I'm not gonna lie.
In the
I'm
claim
like, I wonder
history,
if
it
we
says
can't get that
$2,000.
highlighted and go here. This is how much you lost.
Cause someone
Didn't
told
bother
me,
you?
oh, I turned them in and I look at them and I don't see anything wrong, like scratches like that. And I'm like, girl, sorry.
But I think, I do think we get more calls now because they're not validated versus to when
Excuse me.
they
can
need
I
to be
turn them in?
validated no matter what, and then wait for the corrections. So I think on that end, if they're not being validated, we do get more calls. They do see that they have a lot of reds. How I said, you said, man, we have a lot of.
I did get an email from El Bambino, just El Bambino, you are Nora, and she did tell me, I read it to you, that she understood that I was undergoing an audit en español, pero que ellos son clientes y esperan que yo les responda. Okay, primero que nada, yo no hago enrollments.
She hasn't answered my email for my corrections. That's one of the centers. that have
She's
a lot.
waiting for me to respond to her. She understands that I'm doing an audit, but she's my client. You know what?
Sylvia told me the same thing when I
Yeah.
told her. I
Well,
said,
the
"You know what?"
child too.
I told her, you know, we're in audit. She's like, that was last week. I'm sorry, ma'am, but they're here for a full week. And when I get to them, I get to them. But right now, what's important, I didn't tell her like this, but I let her know like
Bad cop.
is the audit. So sorry. And then she said, okay, I understand.
The thing is this, is we can beg them, we can plead with them 3-4 months, a year. And when they call, you better respond.
Absolutely.
You know?
I had that experience with that one individual from that.
With
state.
Antonio, we're gonna say his name. Let's say his name. Antonio Resendiz from Mini Miracles.
Call, never
Mhm.
answers, never responds, never anything, but he called me here 3 times one morning before 10 o'clock,
Mhm.
and I was busy.
And expected you to pick up, you, the executive director, and then when Beto said that he could talk to me, what did he say? No, I don't wanna talk to Beto. I wanna talk to Susana.
But that center is something else too. They don't have
Oh,
anything.
absolutely.
They never have eat,
They don't even have food.
no tienen ink,
supposed to
no
eat.
tienen paper, se les fue el Wi-Fi. I know you know it's not easy. I have to, I
And you
think.
commit fraud. What did I say?
Well, I'm asking you if you can disallow a lunch. Remember, yeah, that's from.
Yeah, Becky gave me the,
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what another thing? Ahí tienen un calentón, nomás en un cuarto. Un calentón de luz. Ay, ¿en serio? De luz. And the kids, bueno, it was 2 kids that were going around and I'm like, mijo, no te haces.
está prendido.
Claro, pues está bien frío.
Mini Miracles?
Yes, ma'am.
And you didn't call licensing?
Oh,
Well, I'm supposed to call
yeah.
her.
Oh,
I just tell the lady que la pusiera arriba o que la apagara para que no, ¿sabes? Para que no se quemen.
Joanne was also, she also experienced licensing because he called to ask her questions and also let her have it. Okay, he was not nice.
No.
And that's why we really don't wanna deal with him, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna call him anyway.
Mhm. Yes, and we were like on arguing like, yeah, because he was like very rude.
And maybe perhaps
Yeah,
I'm very rude. He was
yeah,
very
very
rude
rude.
with me. No, he's an older man.
Yeah, but I think he's new on the system, no? No,
I don't think.
I
Used
don't
to
remember
be.
him.
yeah, if it was him or James ever went out to your center, it's because you were really in trouble.
Wow.
And then he became a licensing rep when all the other ones left.
After the big report that Berta made about kids, I don't think he's doing his work. It was a really bad.
It was really bad, and then he told me that he was not gonna do my job. Clearly like that, that's how he told. Me.
It's a director.
For
Ay, pues
kids,
era, where, at the daycare at licensing. No sé, era Claudia Rodríguez, no, está,
It's
Parrot,
higher-
Celeste Parrot.
Ándale, she's
Yeah.
a small parrot.
Mhm.
pero ya no está Celeste.
Ya, she's.
No, Celeste ya se fue. Ahora está un señor, se me olvidó el nombre. Tiene un nombre medio raro, mexicano.
Yes, I.
Yeah. Yeah, I talked to him about Luis. I called him and I talked to him about Luis. The way he talked to me. A ver que se me fue el nombre, pero dijo que iba a hablar con él, pero I don't know, porque for me, kids on the high chair crying for food, begging for food, and the lady que no le estaba dando comida, me hizo que explotara. Remember I told her? And I'm like,
To me,
llorando por
it
comida.
was the way that they opened that can with a knife and then left it on top of the.
The
serving tray
borracha.
with the, yeah, with the lid open.
Yeah,
and-
it's like where
uh-huh.
they could.
Que estaba todo es mushy.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one that just
That's
took me
what
over
he
the
is,
edge,
that's
and he
what
told me that what was wrong with that, you know, and I'm like, okay. I must live in another world, I don't know where I live. Okay, so Joanne, Berta, was that it?
That's it.
Okay, Joanne?
Well, just to let you know, I'm very excited for all these changes. I think they're gonna help the centers a lot. Okay. And for me, it's not a problem. I love to go more. But they're gonna take a little bit more time on the centers. My concern, sin que o sea, que nos hagan así como caritos de, oye, ¿qué hora se va? That's my only concern. But for me, I'm happy. because I would like to finish my reports right in there. Me quiso
Okay,
decir algo.
yeah.
Pero
no,
a mí me, o sea, te digo, para mí it was perfect, for me, all those changes. I'm just waiting for the
final
answers on
answer,
the bottom,
yeah.
just to finish the report that we went. And I'm so happy, and you know that I love my job, and you know that I like to go. O sea, no fregarles, pero enseñarles.
Yeah,
For the next inspection, or for the next, síguele tú.
and that's what we
You
said.
know, all the students are going to be ready. With this, all the students I think is going to be ready.
Okay, good, I'm glad to hear that, I'm glad you're saying
Yeah.
that. Like we said the other day, right, it's gonna take a little while, they're not gonna learn it overnight. But we're gonna do it very carefully, very gently, very patiently, right? That's what we're gonna do, we're gonna move in there and give them the time that they need as long as they're moving forward. If they don't wanna listen to us, and we're gonna have some that don't want to listen to us. I'm gonna like let her report on bumblebees, but that's one that doesn't wanna listen to us, and all he does is talk. Is that it?
I'm happy for all the changes.
Okay,
Which is, you know, I work hard, so.
Okay, she did all right.
don't be a workaholic either, take time off.
If I should have more, no, ya acabé.
You are the only person in this agency that's thrilled to have more work. The only one.
Yeah.
The only one.
Es que sabes que yo pienso que entre más ellos entiendan y entre más nosotros les expliquemos, van a, van a entender el programa, y cuando ellos entiendan el programa, eso va a explotar. Lo que pasó con Willow Tree. Willow Tree agarraba $4,000 al mes. Cuando ellos entendieron el programa, after I sat down with them, y le expliqué lo que perdía, y ella entendió y quiso hacer el cambio, de 4,000 se fue a 8,000. ¿Nos conviene? Sí.
Oh, yeah.
Sí, because we're gonna get more percentage.
Sí nos conviene, Joan,
Ujú.
mientras hagan lo que tengan que hacer.
Exacto.
Okay, because if they're getting 8,000 and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, then
Yeah.
I'd rather they get.
Sí, esta, de todos te digo, o sea, de
But
todos
some
los
of like the meal times, but I know she's changed the meal times with some of the daycares.
casi todos.
Big-
Pobre Becky.
Because it works out better to serve dinner earlier, because most of the kids leave at 5.
Yeah.
You know, or most of them get there at 3:30 for
Yeah.
PM.
And
I
they're
mean, just
starving
little
or
things.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're able to claim more kids.
Yeah. And that's
You
good,
know, that's
thank you,
what they
Joan,
do,
no, we
yeah.
appreciate you.
She
Yeah.
does a lot for that.
Sí, porque les digo yo, pobre Becky, porque a todo el mundo yo les digo, bueno, yo opino, y les digo, ok, ¿cuántos tienen para esto? ¿Cuántos tienen para snack? Bueno, 30, 45. Y para dinner, 15. ¿Qué tanto es de diferencia 20 minutos? Si tú cambias la cena, vas a hacer claim 45 o 15. Ah, no había puesto, no me he puesto a pensar así, ¿sabes cómo? Entonces, por eso te digo, a veces cuando me mueven los centros, sí me muevo poquito porque apenas estoy trabajando con ellos y es cuando se hacen los movimientos, a veces no porque quieran, sino por situaciones que pasan, ¿verdad? Pero te digo, para mí, ayudar a esos centros, porque mi posición aquí es seguir ayudando niños, ya no como taker, ya no como director, pero sí como que coman bien, que estén bien. Entonces, de alguna forma, para mí es a payback cuando veo que es mucha buena comida, que les sirven bien, que they're happy with the food. For me, it's a
Absolutely,
payback.
absolutely.
You know, that's a way to still hold my kids on a different way. Pero para mí eso, con eso me pagan a mí, que haya buena comida y que los veas. Por eso tomo fotos de los platos malos, tomo fotos de los platos buenos para hacerlos share con otra gente. So te digo, voy a saber, me encanta mi trabajo y entre más le pongan ahí, para mí mejor. A mí me encanta que entre más pueda averiguar y ellos puedan ayudar. So,
Thank you, Joanne.
I'm,
We do
I'm,
appreciate you, we
Thank
really,
you.
really do. Thank you.
Joan, me encanta tu entusiasmo, pero después de 150 años como Chita y Becky y yo,
Yeah. She said something.
Can you repeat that, Elena?
que me encanta tu entusiasmo, pero después de 150 años en el programa como Chita, Becky y yo, y Terry,
Mira,
no vayas a dejar que te matemos la patada, tú síguele.
with everything, directora, and every day I go with the same attitude. I'm gonna change something of this case. So I'm gonna change something of that. If
And that's a good way of looking
Yeah.
at it, instead of looking at the
Yes.
people and the numbers and the
Thinking
work,
about
you're
the
looking at it. Yeah,
Children,
looking at the
yeah.
children.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Joanne.
You're next, don't ask.
Can't follow up with that.
You have 3 seconds.
I know, God, we have so much work. No, the girls are good. The girls are good. Laura's been going out. She went out once with Joanne. She's gonna go out with her tomorrow and Friday to do 3 and 3, Garabatos being one of them.
It's good, those are gonna be her takers.
Oh, yeah, because they're hers. That way on Monday, hopefully she can fly and be free.
Okay.
And even if you fly and be free, we're still here.
We'll start here to catch you. And you can still call me next week. We got new cards, so did I give them to you or I told you? I think I just told you.
Yeah.
We have new cards, so Laura's making them hers, all nice and pretty and
Color.
But I know
colorful.
she just told you to call her next week. She's gonna be on vacation.
Yes.
You
But
can
you
call
can
me
call-
or you can call
You
Terry.
can call me.
I forget she's on vacation.
She'll still call me.
Yeah.
Joanne will read the
Yeah,
email.
Joanne
She'll
will
still call me.
I'm like, I know you're vacation, Vicky, but I need to answer now.
I know, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't
Sorry.
matter.
You
I don't mind.
Try not to call.
Don't mind. I don't mind. If I can't answer, I don't answer it. What else do we have? We just need to look into that hotspot.
Did she get the computer?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's loving it.
Okay.
And the only reason is because of them having to finish the monitors at the daycare now. What else? What else? Huh? Oh, sorry. What else?
Okay, well, it's gonna be your turn now, so you can report on something.
Yeah, we want to see.
Yeah.
You have to say
Say
something.
it, say it up.
Say it. I have to say it, something.
Like I said, I'll go into the enrollment form, she's gonna do the monitors and then.
Everything will be happy.
Yeah, Laura, that would be perfect, but no. Usually our meetings are a lot calmer. And I apologize.
No, it's
Because
now I
it's
know.
coming from me.
You're setting the tone.
Terry already talked to me and I know I've been a little bit hyped. Next time I'll take my meds. Okay. No, it's just that, it was a long month.
She's
6
traumatized.
weeks. I try not to be. I'm trying not to be traumatized. I'm not traumatized.
I'm not.
But I think
like
Laura's seeing it
frightening,
from a
but-
different
Yeah.
side now.
Yeah,
Yes.
so how did you feel going out with Joanne? How do you feel after a week and couple of days being here?
Good. I mean, it's a big difference from the other side, but knowing now I know why you would say don't send those enrollments again. Because now I know how confusing it could be for you guys, but I didn't understand that. I mean, there was quite a bit that I didn't understand until now that you've mentioned it and all that. Now I'm like, wow. The thing is that if this is how I feel, I wonder how other directors from other directors feel too. ¿Sí sabes cómo? So they were to maybe hear your point of view and things like that. Maybe they would get on the ball, if Elena were to block them, hey, you know what, we're not playing anymore. This is not a joke. Because I'm gonna be really honest, I thought it was a joke too. And what you said, oh, well, we say that it's your job. Yes, I thought like that at the beginning, couple of years, not knowing
Yeah.
what I know now. So
And I think that's gonna help you with the daycares.
yes,
Because she
definitely.
saw on the outside, now she's on the inside.
Yes.
Well, yeah, of course, but yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I try to help the centers because I understand
Yeah.
that we're not the only ones. They have a lot of stuff to deal with but I tell them that this is get you money to feed your kids. So that's why I help them and I say, I understand your size because I'm being there, but that's why I'm helping you so that way you don't feel stressed. I try to give you the easy way so that way you don't feel stressed with that.
And they don't understand that. If they're okay, their only other option, if they don't have a sponsor, is to report with the state. If they're going to report to the state, that's everything that is done here for them. That is what it means to come under a sponsor, okay? Starting with Susana and Angelica, what they do to get these, how can I
Applications,
explain that?
admissions,
Yes.
Contracts, grants.
All of
uh,
that.
all of the policies and the changes and the new rulings and what comes down from USDA and what comes down from TDA and understanding and interpreting and implementing, yes.
So the
They have to
15%.
have
So 50% no es nada, mijita, no es nada.
And the 15% that we charge is not so that we can sit here and do your menus for you. It comes from over there. And then we're still taking your claims and checking them and double checking them, checking receipts, checking enrollments, all of that, that comes extra. And then the computer program.
We pay for the computer program,
And
that we
then
don't
we-
charge the daycare
No,
1
and
cent.
then we process everything, submit it to the state. Terry and I work on that. Mistakes, we find them, we find them, we find them, we fix them. I mean, it's on and on and on, so it's got nothing to do with the fact that it's up to you to do my menus, it's up to you to process activate the enrollment no matter what. That's nothing to do with it. If they paid Susana and Angelica what they do for them, I rest my case.
And what we do as an organization, as a sponsorship, is assure that they're submitting the best possible for the best reimbursement. Like you
Exactly.
said, Joanne, you know, you go back and point it out, enrollments and eligibility, Elena, and making sure everything that put in there, the receipts, the milk audits, the everything, every last thing that we do is so that daycare sites can get reimbursed the maximum amount. And all they need to worry about is feeding the children and taking care of the paperwork. They don't need to do all the admin and all the overhead and all the other stuff that we do. Just following the claim that these two women do is days and days and hours of work. Just filing and making sure the claim matches and then what finance does and making sure that everything balances out in order to issue the reimbursement and the direct deposits. And then the 1099s at the end of the year for tax purposes, and we file all that tax. It's a whole operation that people just don't understand.
That's why when they tell me I pay you for that, first of all, you don't pay me for it. And second of all, even if you did $200 that we're taking out of your reimbursement, it's not gonna pay me. It's not gonna pay me. It's not gonna pay me. Okay, so it's just not gonna pay me. That's why I'm upset, Elena. That's why I'm upset. I'm not upset. Sounds like I'm
Just
rushed up.
frustrated.
Okay, so Laura.
What else?
Just so you can take it back if you have any friends that are still in the business and that are under our sponsorship.
Oh, I'm gonna send
Please.
a video to the ladies and hey. I guess I know they'll be knowing I'll work here now.
Yeah.
Just to let them know, hey, look, remember everything that I showed you. If you guys need help, ask for help. If you need training, ask for the training. I mean, but Berta, make sure you get their signatures because that's gonna cover you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like I said, I'm in shock of everything that you guys really go through. I mean, I appreciate each and every one of you, because I know I was one of those directors. Well, you know what? She can do it for me.
But you know what? You really weren't. I mean,
No.
maybe you thought it, but at least you didn't
When
tell
I
me.
first started.
And just many now.
But no. I just feel all directors need to see this, hear this, get that training, because this is their money. What's going to happen? I mean, yes, there are other programs out there because we've looked into them, not personally me, but I see that a lot of daycares are not like Flying Colors, Paradise. We don't have them. So I'm more than sure that there was someone else, but are they
They're with
doing
the
the
state.
same thing that they were doing here, or if they were ever here with this program? So, you know what I mean? And how did they go about it? Because you guys are here, you guys are willing to help, and you're here in El Paso.
Mhm.
These other programs, I don't know where
They're out of
at.
town.
Yeah.
The Manzanita, they're out of town.
I don't know if there, I think there's one other sponsor,
Mhm.
okay, that's here, and it's called Food Program, right? And we've looked into it.
But they work out
They're
of,
not here.
they're not in El Paso.
They're not
No,
enough.
no.
Mhm.
Because my sister-in-law, she has it before, and they just call her once a while, and she sent pictures before the pandemic, before that.
Really?
Yes.
Pictures?
Yeah, and they sent, and they went to trainings to Austin but they don't have technical support or anything. So that's why now that she runs the center, she don't have a clue. That's why someone else run center privately because she don't have a clue about anything.
Oh.
Because that program that she has before in the other center, they don't help her.
Yeah, because my daughter's ex daycare did the same thing too. But I think you guys had a meeting. Reason being is because at the time when my daughter was a director también, when you would send me emails for some reason or another, she wasn't tagged, but I don't know what was going on. So I would call her, hey, you know what? They're gonna have a food meeting here, this and that, and so that you could see también.
What daycare is it?
It
Paradise,
was,
huh?
Learning Paradise on Rush.
In the Northeast.
Yeah.
We had a big
Is
meeting there.
Paradise?
Yes, because I know Liz got nasty with you, and I was like very disappointed in Liz because, like I told Liz,
Yeah,
even
she
though
got
you
really
didn't-
nasty with me and
if
I,
you
yeah.
didn't, it was no reason for you to blow it like that. I was letting you guys know too, because we're all in the same well, I felt, hey, daycares are gonna help each other because that's what we were
That's what we
used
do.
to. So that's what I was doing with my daughter, and then knowing that Liz got upset with you and said some words, I was very disappointed because we were not like that. Hey Terry, how do I do this? And you would tell me, okay, Laura, step by step by step. When you told me what is it, the 60, 30?
4502?
No, you know how we were doing the at risk when I was telling you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
And you
okay.
said, Laura, look,
percentages.
let's do it together. And so that's how I was showing the other daycares plus that one too. And I
Mhm.
got into it with Liz too. And I told her, how could you talk to her like that or say what you said? I wasn't there, but still, and then they got out.
Yeah, they got out.
Yeah, so I was very disappointed, but like I told her, you would still get that information even though you weren't there because I was gonna let my daughter know to let you guys know. Hey, it's just communication, helping each other. Hey, Terry, I heard that a place to go got an email. How come we didn't get it? So maybe you could add it on the next time, things like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, a lot of times the owners wouldn't, or the directors or whomever, would want it sent directly to them. So a lot of the others weren't getting the emails. We have that still now, I mean, where they don't want to share the information with everybody, so
That's why.
everybody's lost
Mhm.
as to what is going on, or, like the labor tally sheets too. A lot of times they would come in without signatures. Well, it's just that the boss doesn't let me see them. The boss doesn't let me sign them, but then when you ask the boss to do it, well, they're never available, or they have no idea what you're talking about. So a lot of that goes on, and then they get upset with you. Well, you're not communicating that to me. Well, we are. Like a mother's blessing, the owner Arturo, he wants to know everything, and he wants you to CC him on everything, and we do, and then he trashes it, and then he admits it to you. Oh, you sent it to me. I must have trashed it because I didn't recognize the email.
As long as they've been in, he's never learned anything about the program. Yeah, never. Never,
Yeah.
never. It's difficult,
It
but
is difficult.
but we're here.
We keep on trying.
Has anybody heard anything financially? I have friends that own Nikki's and Claire's. And they said they got paid for 1 week last month. Or the beginning of this month for CCS, and that's all they've gotten paid.
I don't know.
So
I
did
don't know
it
about
affect the
CCS.
daycares? This whole,
Well, that's why.
Did it affect the CCS?
Preschool's having trouble because she says there's no funds,
Mhm.
that all her kids are paid, and
their CCS, so they're,
no, she
Maybe
doesn't have
something
any,
happened.
all of them are private pay, and then they make a lot of money, even I even send her an email, that's this parent, they wanna adopt.
right, you're like, I'm free,
So,
I don't need
so
much.
there's no CCS funds, so therefore all her children are private.
Mhm.
And
Doesn't have any-
those that were CCS were the ones who are qualifying her under the program.
See, and a lot of
Yeah.
these kids aren't gonna be going to daycares because there's no fun.
There's no funds.
Means mom and daddy aren't working now because they have nobody to watch the kids. So I didn't know if any more how many got affected? I
I
just
don't
know that
know.
all the Nikki's and Claire's did.
But when I understand that, there's no fund for a new kid. No, not for the new enrollments, not for the ones that already have the
But
program.
doesn't this happen?
Every year.
Well, that's what I
they run
thought,
out.
but when he
Happens
said they
all
only
the
got
time.
paid for 1 week. For their CCS kids, I mean, they had to have more than that before the week, you know what I mean?
yes, but
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe they qualify for 1 week, that's why they pay 1 week.
Yeah, but all the Nikki's and Claire's went
No.
all,
How many do they have now?
yeah, 2 or 3.
Remember Nikki Sinclair said something? Yeah.
Yep.
We won't talk about it. Okay, so is that it? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go to Zoom now. Sorry, guys, over there in Zoom. Are you guys awake?
Are you there?
Crickets.
Hello?
We are. We are
Okay,
awake.
We are here.
alrighty, who wants to go first?
Barely, barely.
Elena already went, and we've got Patty, Claudia, and Beto. Who wants to go?
They all go to mute.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've been
Just-
listening. I mean, everything you guys say is new to me. So every meeting for me is something new that I take notes and I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know what to share because I learn as I go.
But
All
sitting
of
there
it.
in the front, Beto, taking the phone calls that you've been taking and all that, you have been, excuse me, learning all kinds of stuff, ¿verdad?
Yes, a little bit of everything, and I like it.
Okay. Well, that's good. I keep telling you that I'm gonna teach you, the receipts that you're doing are now gonna include the milk audit for those centers. And one of these days, I'm gonna get there to train you on that. In the meantime, Claudia did put another video together that I will share with you so that you can watch it, okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Beto.
Thank you, ma'am.
You
Thank
have
you,
Patty,
ladies.
Claudia.
Well, I can go.
Okay, Claudia.
I can just touch on the bumblebees too situation.
Yeah.
Um, oh, we had discussed, or well, actually, there had been a rule put in place for the daycares to separate their at-risk and traditional receipts for several reasons, and it was to be able to regulate a little bit and make sure that they weren't doubling up on receipts and all of that. It was just it was getting a little complicated, and also a lot of errors were being made on their part. Maybe, hopefully, they were errors and not on purpose. So far from the at-risk that I've reviewed, they've all pretty much been able to separate the receipts except for bumblebees too. And I haven't checked all of the at-risk, and I don't know I don't know about Carmen's batch. I don't know what she's experienced, but so far bumblebees too is the one that not only did they not separate the receipts, but they also do not mark what they've done with the receipt. So if the totals don't match on Center Pilot, that means that me, Carmen, whoever's checking, Beto, will have to go and figure out why the receipt doesn't match what's in Center Pilot. And a lot of the times it's because they have split that receipt with at risk, and we have to sit there and figure out how. The percentages, we have to sit there and figure out, like, if there's an item that's not allowed, where do we remove it? From at risk, from traditional? Do we do 50-50? Like, it's a little bit of a headache. And because we now have, well, after the audit, we need to pay more attention. We need to pay close attention. So we have a larger load to handle. I wanted to cry when I was trying to do those receipts yesterday. And I guess that's the issue, that not, if you're gonna go ahead, I don't know if they're gonna go ahead and do that, it would be nice for them to just let us know what they did, because it's just two receipts, and sometimes they're not even in order, so we have to go digging through at risk and all of that, and so that's the issue that I'm
Well, I responded to your email. Did you get it? Because I know you work
Yes,
at night, but did you
yeah,
get it? And I said,
yes, I got it.
my opinion is, and I don't know what you all think, but my opinion is let him do it. You're not gonna sit there and do that for him. You don't even know. He's not even trying. He's just doing it a trochimochi and saying, ahí se va.
I also suggested that maybe if he can't handle two programs, then remove him from at risk
Absolutely.
until he can prove to us that he can handle them both.
Does he still have more milk in that risk?
Yeah, he always has more milk in one program than the other.
But
And
he
then
does nothing to fix it.
no, and we've told him, Araceli's told him, I've told him, and I know that you have spoken to him about splitting the receipts up correctly and all
have
of
to
that.
have that meeting because he called a meeting. Remember, he's the one that called a meeting with everybody in the email? And I said, okay, are you my boss now or what's going on?
So I have a feeling that if we remove him like tomorrow from at risk, he's gonna say, no one ever told me. No one ever brought that to my attention that I wasn't splitting the receipts up correctly, on and on and on. So I think that we should bring it to his attention again and then let him know, we have told you before, this isn't the first time. Next month, if it isn't done, you will lose the at-risk program.
Is he thought like?
Claudia, Claudia, are you talking about bumblebees too?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, because I was like, okay, yeah, you were good, thank you.
And
Yes.
Claudia, Learning Station is not so bad, right? She's a whole lot better.
I haven't checked. Have I? Honestly, I can't think of another daycare. So probably if I checked it, I haven't checked her this month, but if I checked her last month, I haven't encountered a daycare like that in a while, and I'm guessing it's because everyone else is trying. They're implementing the rule, and it just makes a huge difference. It's just
But
such
he's never tried, even
no.
before
I was
implementing the
gonna
rule.
say he's not implementing not even the old rule.
Yeah, he's never
No.
tried it, splitting it 60-40, 50-50, whatever. He's
Yeah.
never tried.
And he's the one that's waiting, Susana, on you and me to meet with him in person to tell him how he's supposed to do that.
So all he does is send the same receipt for at risk and traditional, and then you just kind of have to make heads or
So
tails.
go ahead and go on your team next week. Just us.
Claudia, in the meantime, I don't think she needs to be dealing with that.
No.
No. Did you already do
Well, I
some
mean,
of-
I was sitting here for a good while last night trying to figure out what in the world was going on because you're trying to just make sure that you're picking up on what you need to pick up, and I'm also doing the milk audit for the traditional part at the same time. So the milk on the receipts are also split. So that's also a problem because it takes just so long to figure out what is going on. And I used to do it in the past all the time because a lot of daycares had their receipts like that. So, but I didn't have the amount, like I would only do like a percentage of daycares a month. It wasn't like right now that Carmen, me, and Beto have all of the daycares, and we're trying to make sure that we get to as many as possible. And that's just it. I was sitting here for a good while, and then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna have to move on to another one because
You know what? He can't afford you.
yeah,
No way.
exactly.
We
He needs
can't
to
be-
put me on his payroll. Yeah.
Yeah, no, es demasiado. Push it onto one side. We'll talk to him next week. We'll return him to him and have him figure it out. And if
So
not,
do you all
remove-
want me to
You won't
email
be-
him, or do you want to take care of it through your end, or
Yes, you go, if Chita, if you'll go ahead and email him and tell him we're struggling with your receipts. We have time now to meet with you next week. Come in and we'll talk about
Yeah, I'll
this.
take care of it, Claudia. Just put him to the side. Don't waste your time on him.
And if he's not gonna be submitting receipts that are workable, we won't be able to use them. And you know, the state already identified those we're gonna have to pay back money because they're not, they
Yeah,
don't have
and
the backup
that's
for the expenses. They don't.
and I feel like those daycares are higher percentage of errors occur in the traditional at-risk receipts when we were doing it the old way because sometimes it's just a mistake, you know, they upload the same receipt twice and they don't split it. So they're getting like double for one purchase, you know? So that's why I tend to spend a little bit more time with those, and it's just gonna take too long to try to figure. And this is the daycares, but you know, a lot of the daycares do write. Well, not anymore because now they're splitting them, but before they would write on there like 40, 60, and then they would write the exact amount that they were splitting. So you could go ahead and check real quick. But this is nothing. It's nothing. And I couldn't even find one of the receipts and sent in at the at risk, and it was way at the bottom. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever. And I didn't know it was this particular person, but I thought, you know, why aren't they splitting them? Like, and just if you wanna, when you do have the meeting or whatever, to let him know that most daycares are splitting their receipts successfully,
I'm glad
and
to
they
hear.
did it. Yeah.
I'm
So
really glad.
as far as I know, most of them are. So if he says that it's too hard or it's impossible, like most of them are doing it. So
Can you do us a favor? And if you can, before next week, check, well, yeah, it has to be before next week. Check Learning Station. Because I know his wife is gonna be coming with us. I mean, coming with him to talk to us.
okay, yeah,
Just let us know.
let me see who that belongs
A little
to.
nervous, Jock.
Okay?
I already have her the list that she wants for the food kitchen. She's the one they need the. that
Oh,
list.
yeah, and
Yeah.
if,
You want me to email it to her?
well, let me put it in a document, that way we can have that. Are these all of them? From all of
Well,
them?
for my,
just
for
yours?
my takers.
Okay.
That's the list.
All right, what Joanne is
There.
talking, thank you, Joanne. What Joanne is talking about is that you had requested, Claudia, if they could give you a list of those daycares that have a full kitchen. So that
Oh,
you own
yes.
those that are buying raw meat or chicken or whatever. I'll put it in an email, in a list, and I'll send it to you and Carmen and Beto. If you
Or
could
you
find,
could just put it in the shared file. That way we always have it there.
that's
And
very
if
true.
something changes, whoever can go in there and change it or add it or whatever.
Thank you for reminding us about those shared files. They are very, very helpful and I forget about it. Thank you. Araceli has her hand up.
Claudia, I was gonna ask you, do you have a list of what's acceptable and what's not? Is it possible if you do have it to upload it to the share file as well?
You
Yes,
mean
like foods and supplies and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am.
that would be
Yes.
huge.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or it's just because you requested and I thought. She asked me and I was gonna ask Claudia.
Not approved. That would be shorter.
Okay.
But
And can I kind of sort of guide you on that? And maybe without the list of everything, you'd be able to figure it out?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Because I think it would be massive, no, Claudia? Or not? Maybe not.
Of the not approved, I could shorten it to like the most common things that we see
That
that
you see it.
they just don't ever stop buying.
Okay.
Like Pop-Tarts and toilet paper and
Water.
they
Water.
just never stop. So
And it's general, anything that is a breakfast bar is not allowed.
Right.
Anything that is dessert based is not allowed. So if you think of a Pop-Tart, what is the main ingredient? Sugar, so it's not allowed. Okay, not just when we think of grain-based desserts, we just think of maybe cake and cupcakes and that. But, also, those items are also included in there. Rice Krispies treats, it sounds like it would be allowed because it's cereal, but it isn't. Okay,
And
I
go ahead.
was going back and forth with cinnamon raisin bread, and to me
Cinnamon.
it sounds like a dessert kind of, because it's like a cinnamon roll kind of situation. I don't know what do you
First
guys think?
ingredient, do you know? What is the first ingredient?
It's wheat, whole grain.
Yeah, you put that training together, so you do remember the three, what was it? The three rule. Remember? Maybe we could follow that one. I don't know. That was really for whole grains, right?
what
Yeah,
I
it
do
was for whole
yeah,
grains.
is sometimes when I'm not sure, because there was something that I told you that I didn't think was allowed, and I looked it up on Center Pilot, and it was in the menu.
Oh, there you go. Maybe.
So
you could do that.
if it's in the menu on Center Pilot, then it's allowed. And it was, I don't know if there were the little fish crackers, or I can't remember what it was, but anyway, they were in there, so then they're allowed. Like the muffins, they're allowed, the cinnamon, I mean, the blueberry, the,
Just not
As long as
chocolate
it says-
chip or
As long as it says muffin, and yeah, because they do say a chocolate chip muffin or a double chocolate muffin is a cupcake without frosting, right?
yeah, but any of the fruit muffins, the carrot, the blueberry, the apple, I believe, all of that stuff is allowed as a muffin. And I'm saying this for Laura, and then, a lot of the things that you have found on the receipts have been toilet paper, water,
Downy.
Downy, laundry detergent, some like Paco, he had a
little washing.
he had a portable washing machine, and he was buying laundry detergent for like 260 loads. I'm like, well, how much are you washing?
He would watch the kitchen towel. That's what he said. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he said.
So those things are not allowed. We have had a daycare where she claimed baseboards, and certain things in her kitchen, and I said, no, you can't, those are not allowed. She said, but when the kids eat, the food splatters all over the baseboards, so I had to replace them all. And I said, but the kids aren't eating off the baseboard, so you can't claim that.
And
She was claiming nails and screws and
she was the one that was the Jack Daniels pulled pork.
oh yeah, and she was also claiming the Jack Daniels pulled pork.
Love it.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? It's
yeah,
not
the
good.
Jack Daniels beef or
Yeah,
something.
so we just removed all that stuff they tried to get in there. And then a lot of the daycares that don't have a full kitchen try to buy raw meat, and it's not for the daycare. Okay, so that's why we have to be careful with those.
Okay. Anything else, Claudia?
No, just I will be starting the next newsletter soon. So if I know there was something that Carmen suggested to put in there, but I don't know if that was officially like approved. So just you can email me or anything with that.
It had to do with receipts. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what she suggested, but okay. All right, and if anybody has anything to go in the newsletter, just send it to Claudia. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's not a question. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page with um the doctor's notes. There's going to be expired every year, so just to let them know too.
Well, here's the thing. This is the way that I was looking at it, Angelica. Is that we renew the enrollment form every 12 months. So why not renew the doctor's notes as well? Unless they have an expiration date, unless they say until the child turns 12 years old.
They don't.
I don't think I've come across something
No.
like that.
I have an example here that's since 2023. And,
But it doesn't show that it expired.
But if it does, right, if it doesn't show it expires, can't we just?
but the problem is they're not on Center Pilot.
Oh, it's not in Santa Pilot?
No.
But what's
So
the
that way, I
allergy?
think we need to be like
Oh,
on the same,
lactose.
igual, o sea, si yo se las traigo, bueno, porque yo le expliqué a la persona que fuimos, que if they're not in Center Pilot, they're not allowed to pay
But-
for the lactose free.
But hang on, but technically this is not, this is a vaccination record. This isn't even a, right here it's stating allergies, but this is really not a doctor's note. This is based on this says vaccination record. So
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to
I,
say that.
I would not accept this because it's a vaccination
No, because it.
record and it does state here, but it's not a doctor's
But
note.
usually when they have allergies or lactose free or bananas or whatever, they never say expired date because
Because that
they check every year to see if they're less or they have new ones. So
They should
every
have-
year when they do the physical on those kids that have allergies, usually, of course, something changed.
But then they should
Not
be
all the time
sending
is the
one,
same.
they should be sending one yearly, right?
If it changes, yeah.
Isn't the doctor's not supposed
Is
to
it?
include the alternate food that they can? So that's,
Yeah.
that's what this was.
This is
missing.
specific.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, of course, all the foods are important.
Yeah.
But I think that for the food program, and I may be wrong, what's important to us is the milk. Because if a child's allergic to bananas, well, then they can serve them
Something else.
something else. But if they're allergic to cow's milk and they have to have whatever, lactose free or coconut or whatever, then we need to know that. No? But if it states on there, well, allergic to peanut butter or whatever, that's fine. But what we need to know is the
But-
milk.
But if it, but if
I
it
don't know,
has, like,
maybe
and it says
You
that-
guys are looking at me kind of strange.
Well, the only reason I'm looking at you strange is because what if they're allergic to bananas and then they go and they're eating an apple, and everybody else is eating a banana? Well, then you'd say, why is that child eating?
Well,
the
they would
apple?
pull it out of their file and say, there it is, or on Center Pilot, they would put bananas and apples.
Well, and gluten-free diets also are pretty extreme.
Yeah, that's very true. Gluten free.
But shouldn't we have something, because remember I showed you one that. Was it you that gave it to me where it doesn't state there's a milk allergy or that they're. Remember the one I showed
Special
you?
diet, it was a special.
Yeah, but there's nothing, it doesn't state they're allergic to anything or that
No.
they require almond milk or soy milk. So that really,
Okay, so I guess I got off the subject. Should we have them renew it every year or just if there's no expiration date, just keep it from year to
Usually,
year?
I think an allergy carries out to.
Through year,
at
from
least
year to
through-
year.
Through their
To their
childhood,
childhood.
maybe they'll outgrow it as an adult. I think it's probably.
And I guess it's up to them, to the parent, to say, my child's no longer allergic to that, you can give it to them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
but see, the thing with that is when we file, it'll go in, it's not gonna stay with the current enrollment.
Mm,
It's
you're
not-
right.
It's not gonna stay with the, whatever's attached.
So they have to
have to
include
do
it
some
every
tests.
year.
Yeah, because when we file, it's not gonna,
Yeah,
we're not gonna pull it out and then.
No.
attach
We'll,
it.
we'll see on Center Pilot if they have a special diet or an allergy.
Yeah,
So when we
but
get the enrollment, the center will have to
well,
send,
they should
even
be
if it's the same
responsible.
copy
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they
should
have on
send-
file, but they should send it.
yes, totally agree.
Yes.
Yes. So that's the final answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Send
It is a
it,
yes?
send it every re-enrollment.
But
Send it with every.
but not, it doesn't have to be renewed every year by the doctor. They could send us a copy unless they come up with a new allergy, then they need to update it, then they'll go ahead and send it to us.
Okay,
Pero cada año nos pueden dar la misma copia que tienen ellos, es la misma.
well, they have
yeah.
to have it, because I'm sure they have to provide to the
Yeah.
schools
Right.
every year, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
whatever they do with their schools, they do with it.
Porque hasta donde yo sé, las escuelas sí la piden por año. That's why I'm saying.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like, well, we would need it too, because like I'm saying, once we file, we're not gonna pull it out and attach it. It's just gonna, it's gonna go, yes?
Sí, bueno, mi pensar es ¿verdad? Que si las pides por año, que si nosotros decimos que las pedimos por año es mejor,
Yeah.
porque si no, ellos no lo van a mandar. You know?
Well, yeah, no, well, these ladies are requiring them to send it
They are
with their
required.
renewals.
Pero si ellas no están en el programa, no lo ven hasta que nosotros las cachamos allá. ¿Sabes cómo? Como estos niños no están en el programa, que son,
Okay,
you
well,
know, ellas
yeah,
no sabían.
But that one I wouldn't take it because that's a vaccination right there.
Ajá, pero aquí te está diciendo algo que, pues, que no son, que supuestamente no pueden tomar leche, ¿verdad? Pero no es not specified, the lacto free, I mean, they're lacto intolerant.
Pues que cuando ellas validan en Center Pilot, sí nos dice cuando lo estamos haciendo. Entonces, cuando tenemos an enrollment and we're missing that, then they tag it and I call the center request. Doctors
You're the
know.
one who requested.
Yes, yes, we have to.
But either
Yes.
way, but what I'm saying though, what you showed us, it's a vaccination. It's
So
not
then
real.
that's not valid.
Okay.
So that's even if they put
Needs to show them
allergy,
the-
lactose-free milk, that's not gonna hold, they have to get a doctor's note,
Mhm.
remember.
Sí, pero yo los agarré nomás porque tenía el expire date, pero.
Okay.
okay, so I guess we answered that one too,
Yeah.
¿verdad? Okay, Angelica, do you have it? Pati? Oh, Pati.
Patito.
Claudia, are you done? I'm sorry.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Pati, can you talk?
Ya no quiero. No es cierto.
Ni modo, sí, ándale. Ándale, Pati.
¿Mande?
Ándale, Pati.
No, pues nada, voy a también empezar a trabajar en hacer algunos cambios para pues corregir los errores. Ahorita por lo pronto llevo la mitad de mis monitoreos. No sé si ya empezar con los que me faltan este mes, empezar a hacer algunas correcciones, checar más para pues corregir.
Ok, Pati, después te damos el reporte de las casas, ¿ok? De los auditores.
Yo sé.
All
Ok,
right. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Pues bueno, ya mañana voy para checar lo del viaje a Alpine.
Pati, te tengo noticias.
Aquí estoy.
Te vas a llevar un
Dígame.
carro del año. Te vas a llevar un carro del año.
Sí, se me había dicho. Pero le digo que tiene que ir conmigo. Tiene que ir conmigo para estrenarlo.
¿Dónde lo vas a estrenar?
Un carro del año rojo que me has venido en the morning.
Wow,
Muy
Pati.
bien.
Okay,
How
that's
nice.
fine. That's very nice.
Perfecto.
Okay,
Very good. Nada
Yes.
más.
thank you.
With Apple Tree Food, they have a new director. Do you need to do NDL?
Yeah,
Yes.
sign, well, it was Paul,
Bob
what,
Bettis.
Paul Bettis and Miriam,
But Miriam is already there. Who has Apple Tree?
was Miriam already there?
She was
I don't know
already
that I
there.
did her.
Uh-huh.
She gets to back then.
It wasn't there. Like Apple Tree is gone.
But usually I do the center. And they do their people. They're supposed to do.
They're
their
supposed
people.
to do their people. That could be something, Claudia, that we can remind them again in the newsletter. Just put in your notes, NDL, National Disqualified List. We'll give them the link and remind them that they need to do it for their people.
Yeah, I usually do the
Okay.
center. And then the people here.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the clarification. Just an observation to everybody who, well, everybody participated in the monitor review. So I just noticed a high amount of teamwork and, you know, I know that some people were panicking at certain points, but I think always go back to what, you know, you see Susanna and she's cool, calm and collected. Remember to stay cool, calm and collected and don't panic. Don't panic.
Get down that.
And realize that the majority of you already have that knowledge, so you have to trust that knowledge. The other thing that I observed was that for every question that we had or every question that came up, the person that always had the answer was Chita. She has this knowledge base because of the 101 years that she's been here, guys. And if you question her, if you're like, Chita, but isn't it blah, 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 I'm gonna ask you that if you're gonna question her, you better have your research in front of you and go, well, here.
Hi, thank you. Okay.
She does have. And if you're gonna say, hey, I think we need to change this, do some research on, go to Square Meals, go to whatever, there's policies and procedures. If you don't wanna do that and you wanna ask me to do that, I'll be more than happy to do that. And then you can approach her. Hey, I think we can change this, so I think, because she has that knowledge base. And I saw it over and over and over and over again. Even I asked her, hey, what happened to the? Oh, it's because they didn't claim that. And I was just the support person back here making scans and upload and then sending them to Susana so she could upload. And then I would ask a question because we were missing some stuff. And she would go, oh no, it's because they didn't file a claim, so they don't need this, or they didn't do this, or they don't need that. Or this is I mean, she had an answer of the response for everything. And I was just like, wow, I was speechless. And so I did want to let you know that in front of your team, and so that your team knows that you do have the majority of answers based on
Thank you.
all
Well,
your
'cause I've been
experience
here for a long,
forever
long,
and
long
ever and
time.
ever. Yeah, so
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
but good job on, I think you were questioning it at some point. Oh my gosh, I think we're falling apart, right? Not your team's not falling apart. Everything,
A little bit.
but
A little bit, yeah. No, we're not falling apart. We're not ever gonna fall apart. I mean, there's a lot of changes that are coming in and we're gonna do it. We will do it.
right, we will do it.
Thank you.
That's it.
And she always answered nice. All the time when we ask her something, and she'll give you the
Oh,
answer.
I
And
doubt that she answers nice.
Do I?
Just over here, she's like, no.
Wait,
She like,
do I always answer nice?
That's God, well, I have to be all the time. Or administration, the actual centers or the people that are, calling to question.
And really, I don't answer meanly to anyone unless you get on my last nerve, and I'm not talking about you all.
No, it's not.
When you've got these centers and they're over and over and over telling me that they didn't know, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm human.
Well,
But thank you.
for
And thank you to everybody, everybody there, everybody that's not here. I mean, we're a huge team and yet we get it done, we get it
Can
done.
I have the last word, right?
Yes, you do.
Always. Thank you, Anita. Those are good observations and absolutely right. We're in the trenches with everybody and these reviews are very, very difficult. They are nerve-wracking. They take away your sleep. They're very difficult and the state is getting harder and harder. USDA is getting harder and harder. And all I can say is I'm thankful that we have a job and looking to the future for continued work. I do have a report because I met yesterday with the National Forum, and for those that don't know, I sit at a board level way up across the nation. And I used to be the board president. I'm just a board member now, thank God. Yeah, that was a lot of work. But anyway, we met yesterday, and so when we get the report from the Hill is Washington, DC. The Hill is Congress. The Hill is the president. That's where we're getting our report. So for today, I'm glad we have a program, and we will do what we need to do to continue that program. And we will do what they're asking us to do, even though it seems like an impossibility. We'll work through them. And as a team, we'll get it all together. And we have a great team working here, not only in this program, but agency-wide. But anyway, the report from the Hill came in yesterday, and I'm just going to give you, don't get scared. Don't get scared. They're already laying off people at USDA. At the federal level, they're cutting back at federal programs. They're starting to cut back, and they're going across the board to different federal programs. They're at USDA. We haven't heard yet who's been cut or if our friends and allies and people that I've been working with for many, many years, if they've been, I mean, I'm sure there's conferences going on in May and June, both in Dallas and in Washington DC. I'm hoping to be at those because I haven't been in 2 years now and I'm losing track of what's happening. But some of those people that are good people that we talk to one-on-one, the people who make the decisions at USDA at the national level, we have one-on-one conversations with. Some of these people may not be there after this year, but so that was word that they are starting to lay off at USDA. The government is cutting study programs and grants for the nutrition program, not CACFP, but they are starting to cut some grants that are doing studies and the way that they pay the rates that we get, the rate changes that we get every July, it's based on consumer price index. Okay, these are all economic things. I don't understand them all. But I do know, and was reported that the consumer price index went up 2-3%, which means that for July, the increases probably will be there for homes and centers in increases in reimbursements. So we're waiting to see what that's going to happen if the feds will take it on. The politics I won't get into much because that's her opinion, but there are cutting or they're proposing to cut $12 billion in school breakfast and lunch programs, reducing the number of schools that are able to offer free meals to low-income kids. So they're proposing to cut $12 billion. We don't know yet if that's going to happen. We don't know yet how that's going to affect us in our CACFP. Head Start is laying off people as well, because Head Start are national programs. And we don't work with Head Start programs, but I have many colleagues who do. And they're already seeing that Head Start is laying off. Enrollment is down across the nation in sites because of immigration. And families don't want to send their kids to childcare, Head Start programs, schools, and so enrollment is dropping. I don't know that it's affecting us yet. I haven't seen that there has been that effect, but we'll be seeing the trends here as well in the next few months. So we keep an eye out on those because it affects our bottom line and our reimbursement as well. And the commodities, which we get paid in lieu of
Cash in lieu.
cash in lieu of commodities. We don't receive the actual commodities, but they're getting cut. And again, I don't know if that's going to affect us in our next reimbursement. We're good until the end of September. For this fiscal year, we've been allocated our money and our funds. They should not, Congress, they can't do anything about it. Doesn't matter what the higher ups say. We should be good. Next year will be a different story, and 9 months we wait and see. But I'm sitting in committees and with organizations that, if need be, we move forward. And as I told these three ladies here, that if we need to, we will be called upon to go before Congress to speak. And I've done it. I can do it again. And I represent the Latino community, the Pastor community, West Texas. We don't only.
The Zoom, did you all hear Susana's speech at all?
We did hear it
Yes.
a little bit, yes. Most of it.
Just the end, I don't think we caught that because it got weird, the connection.
Yes, true.
All right, well, we're still here, at least until September, we're still here. Anybody else, any questions, any comments, anything? Okay. All right, thank you all, and we'll continue. We'll continue moving forward. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.